I mean, you're from a state, Chrissy, that that hates people. It hates its own people, and it's very anti-American. Let's be real. I mean, like New York, I don't understand. Again, this is one of those things where I don't understand the preoccupation with New York. So I mean, like when you see this sort of stuff going down, do you have the same reaction that we do, where it's just like, how in the hell?
Absolutely, it's disgusting. It's really beyond upsetting. And I came out August 3rd when De Blasio announced the mandates. You know, I think that are now what is today? Yeah, I think they're fully.
We're in September, darling.
The time flies. They're
time flies when depression is front and foremost. Hell yeah.
The mandates are full on at this point. And I said August 3rd, I'm like, look, I know I'm not like the biggest, most famous comic, right? But I'm like, I will not perform at any venue. I will not perform stand-up comedy for any venue that segregates by vaccination status. I'm not about it. I do not want to put that on my fans.
Repeat. The vaccination status came in. Mm-hmm. And you honestly made a declaration
the same day
that you would not. I didn't know about this.
Yeah, no, she posted it on Twitter. Yeah,
she posted on Twitter. Me, Elijah?
No, I just didn't know. You're telling me, so you immediately stood up and said, I am not going to perform at venues that require the vaccine.
Yeah, because I was like, what am I going to hide? You know, there's comedians, like I was really upset to see the lack of fellow comics and performers coming out and joining me. Like, not like I want to be like, follow me, but I was like, what are we going to put this on our fans? We're gonna like tell our fans like, look, you have to take this experimental injection or else you can't enjoy a night out. There's enough pressure and propaganda as it is. I don't want to be a part of that pressure. So I was like, my feelings on this are never going to change. I might as well be out with it because I have a platform. I'm an outspoken person rather than hide and be squirrely like so many stand-up comics are, because I think many comics just want to be accepted into the flow or woven into the quilt of Hollywood, right? They want to like just get famous no matter what. And for a while, nobody was really saying the same thing until recently Jim Breuer came out and said canceled shows, like one in Jersey, I think one possibly in Michigan, because they were forcing people to show their vaccination status. He's like, I am not doing this. I am not going to segregate my fans. And the sort of antithesis to that is Patton Oswalt, who is like canceled shows in Salt Lake City and Florida because these venues would not mandate customers to show their vax status. So they're, you know, for a while it really was like nobody big, but it's been really cool to see Jim Breuer come out and say this.
Did you get pushback on that? Like where people, what was the response? I'm actually just curious, what was the response that you got from this, and venues as well? Like if you had things planned and you pulled out, did they understand? Were they like, hey,
I texted Stand Up New York. Like Stand Up New York and The Stand are venues that I would regularly kind of perform at. And, you know, in comedy, you say like you're passed or you're not passed or whatever. And then there's places that you perform. If you can draw a crowd, if you've got fans, like it doesn't matter if you're passed or not passed. It's like Jeremy Piven, not the best stand-up comic, but he started doing stand-up and can fill a room. So boom, now you're in, right? So I texted a couple of the venues saying, hey, like, I don't know if you saw my tweet. This is nothing against you guys. I'm against these mandates. I'm like, I have to fight for this. And they're like, okay, cool. It's no big deal. And like The Stand in New York City is doing outdoor shows for as long as they can. But they also have indoor. So they have that requirement on their indoor shows. So other comics like Tyler Fisher is like, yeah, I'll perform at the outdoor shows, but I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be going indoors. Same thing, I think maybe Louis J. Gomez with Legion of Skanks, they might be kind of on that same side too. And yeah, the pushback or the blowback from people was like, oh, who is she? Like, I don't know her. And it's like, these are people who aren't even fans of comedy or stand-up. And it's like, okay, like, again, you're in everybody's pocket. Of course, you're not going to be like known by everybody. But I just figured like my feelings on this are never going to change. I might as well be outspoken about it because there's so many people, even people watching, you're afraid to even retweet something on Twitter. You're afraid to take a public stance because people are afraid to lose their jobs. People are afraid of losing friends, family. So I was like, this is what I do. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm going to go even harder because some people really can't.
You know, I think that's actually, it's kind of remarkable because instances crop up, especially when you do work in the entertainment field. Elijah and I certainly know this too with sponsors and blah, blah, blah. These things happen where you sort of at some point have to put your foot down and kind of put your money where your mouth is.